Learn to be super successful. Subscribe to my channel, Meathead.
Depends on you, Mr. Nazi. He's a quick study. He can figure it out himself. Whereas most of you are going to keep employees 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days. Whereas you heard Simon Voss say, if you remember in the video, he fired the owner the second day. And it depends on you. There's no strict rule. Comments, questions about the Viking bitch? Yes, sir.
It was just clear the background check on the straw man thing. She was talking about on the license.
No, she didn't know what she's talking about. I'll reframe the facts as they occurred, not as she told the story. Remember we were talking about licenses yesterday or the day before, and how they lie to you and they say they can transfer them, and in your particular case, the license is in your name, yada, yada, yada. And she found out that one of the healthcare deals from a minority, from a Nigerian, the husband's been dead 7 years, and she's still using the license was in the dead man's, name. And so now normally the deal stops until they clean that up. Well, I mean, it's no great feat. The lawyer said, well, we'll have a management contract between your entity that's buying this entity, and you will run the entity as if you owned it, including controlling all the cash flow. And it's just a simple management contract. And you're going to pay the seller, as she said, I think she said she paid him $3,000 a month. It took 7 months to get the license transferred. Because they're starting from scratch. You can't transfer from a dead man. Which apparently the Nigerian seller tried to convince, It's like, you go, I don't know if they still do it in Manhattan. A guy standing on the corner selling 70 watches. He's got 70 knockoff Rolexes on his arm. Okay? And he promises you the one that you pick is real. Okay? That's what it's like buying from some of these minorities. And in other third world countries, you get away with it. Because either you bribe a judge, you bribe a cop, you bribe somebody. So all she got was a simple management contract. The Straw Man Act, the law is a law in most states in the United States. If you've been in violation with Medicare, Medi-Cal, blah, 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 you can't own health care facilities that require some sort of a state or federal license. By mandate, you can't be in that business anymore. So what they do is you go get your Indian cousin and name him John James. And even though he has signed a secret document over, you own 100%, but he's acting for you as a straw man, as a fake. That comes up once in a while. But it comes up a lot with minorities that you buy these deals from. Because they don't do what the law says, they do what they got away with in Ethiopia, or Bolivia, or Costa Rica, or Puerto Rico, or Bristol. Other questions about the Viking? Yes, sir.
She mentioned something to do with issuing shares and it being...
She fucked it all up. She didn't issue shares. Exactly the opposite of what I told you. And she's cleaned it up since. But what the directors wound up having is what it's called as phantom income. That's like having sex without an ejaculation. Because they have to pay taxes on the income they didn't get. Because now the company's worth 20 million or 18 million or 40, whatever it's worth, and you own 3%. Based on the book value of 0, now it's got a book value of 15 million. What's 3% of 15 million? 450,000? Yeah. So you have tax on 450,000 and you never got the income, but you still owe the taxes. I say this 9 million times, but she's also more candid. She tells you the truth. The guys puff their shit up a little. that women, I'm not saying women don't know how to be dishonest, because that, believe me, I could write a fucking book on that. But I mean, the women have a tendency to be more candid, to tell you, when they fucked up. And so when she's telling you, she's had a lot of fuck, but with all the fuck ups she's made, she's rich. With all the, phantom income she's given to directors, I mean, even after paying taxes, they're still rich. And she doesn't know any, and she's, whatever that kind of nurse is, she doesn't know anything about what she's doing. And she's been in the business 25 years. That's how simple. She said, it's easy shit, or I forget the word she used. It is fucking easy. But until you do it, it's like Rasputin is whispering in your ear. But you've always been thick. You were not the favorite child of your parents because you were thick. You were the slow one. Or you were uncoordinated. You were this, you were that. It's still ringing in your ear. You dropped the ball in the Little League game and in the Little League World Series of Tacoma, Washington. You did this. And you don't believe me. I can see. When I look at it, I'm not. I haven't had to work in almost 40 years. I don't have to lie to you, but I see fear in it. When I look at you, I see fear. I don't see hope. I don't see energy. I don't see. I see fear, and that word I don't like to use. Some of the same fear I saw. By the way, I looked at the boxing. Has anybody looked at you guys yourselves yet? Okay. You look better on TV than you did in person. After I get reading some of your homework, Sally, come here. And she says, oh, it's the kids. We all call you the kids. And it was, we watched the first 3 fights, okay, which you remember who they were, okay? And they look good. And then I said, they look better on TV. Maybe it's because we're looking at a small camera. But anyway, look good. And the comments were 95% positive. We had a few wise asses that didn't have any, of course, they don't have anything positive to say about anything. But for the most part, it was positive. But it looks good. Now, when you guys leave, I'll look at the rest of the boxing. But anyway, it's up now, and it'll be posted over the next 2 or 3 days. But it's interesting. I'll go back to the Viking bitch. She was very candid with you. This is, I think, the 5th or 6th webinar she's done, and and she's had some big problems. Now, the one where the COO she fired because he did something bad, and then his wife came to the gym. I wish somebody had filmed that. Now, normally somebody's always got a fucking but the women were just there, apparently taking sides, hit her, yeah. God damn, I wish I had that on film. So when that happens to you, give it a phone to somebody standing there so we can add it to our archives. But the lady went nuts. They moved their house, and then she fires him. He deserved to be fired. But the shark, the CFO, when her husband's out of town, who comes, okay, here's a PowerPoint presentation. If you don't give me such and such plus $300,000, I'm going to leave. And what he's really saying, when they threaten to leave like that, what they're really saying to you, Bandeja, I'm going to the banks, I'm going to the TV station, I'm going to the Puerto Rican Medical Association. That's what they're really saying when they say that. I'm going to ruin your fucking life. $300,000. That's what they're really saying. So then what do? No, you hit him with a brick right there. Now, she would have got away with, in the gym, picking up a 5-pound dumbbell. Well, she can pick up bigger than 5 pounds. Boom! The argument's over. Now, at my age, because I'm so fragile, he scared me. I didn't know what to do. All I could do was punch him in the face and break his jaw. That's all, it was a natural reflex because I'm so afraid. Now, if I could say that and keep a straight face, but that would be the challenge for me, a straight face. But I mean, she's had all kinds of things like that. And, but she's gotten a lot of stuff, I won't say for free, but a lot of stuff that they give her the benefit of, oh, you fucked it up. If you fuck up not giving the shares, believe me, that's not going to be the response. One of the guys said, well, we'll make it up on the exit. That guy is either an idiot or he's sleeping with her or both. Because the tax consequence on the exit. So he's got 25 million and he's got a 5 million in tax. Well, you got to do a lot of fucking to earn up $5 million worth. But guys don't get those. You're not going to get that kind of benefit of the doubt. You just won't. Unless, I've never had an all-lady board, so I don't know. But maybe, but it's not going to happen that way. That's why I say it's easier for the gals. It has always been easier for the gals. 99% of the gals handle it professionally. Okay? I think, I have no proof, no concrete proof, but I think 1% of the girls don't handle it so professionally. And, but I don't care how you get to the top, sweet peas. I don't give a shit. If you get there on your back, you get there on your feet. I don't care. I don't want to know. All I want to know is read the numbers. Comments about the Viking. She came to Princeton with her entourage, because she's got a following. So they came up there, about 6 or 7 of them, I guess. And the Viking bitch too, her, Black Beauty, and a few others. But she's working hard at it. She's working hard at it. And the gals just are better multitaskers. They just are. There's all kinds of theories. You carry somebody, umbilical cord. There's all kinds of theories why women are better multitaskers. But I'm not interested in those. All I know is the fact. Any questions about the Viking? Anything you didn't understand? Okay. Now, she talked about goals 4 or 5 times. She talked about increasing her comfort zone. I thought it was funny when she was going through and she put one of her offices right in the middle of a prostitution place. $30 a square foot, and she's paying $2 a square foot. Didn't you ask him why? But anyway. So that is not one of her main offices now. So she, as she said, she can't work there late at night. I don't think the pimps might bother her, but I don't think the prostitutes would. But she's been very candid about how she's gone through this learning curve, and she's been very successful. And that person, she said, the fucker, she's going to go have to drive 4 hours. She had to drive down there and resell them. Now, to the extent that you use commercial banks, you want your LOIs to have as much exclusivity as possible, long term. The downside is you get a 90-day exclusivity or 180-day exclusivity, and you sign the seller in the first 15 days. He's got all the rest of that time to get seller's remorse. Think about it. Ukraine, 4th wave of COVID, interest rates doubling, all kind of things can happen in 180 days, and almost all of them are bad. You're wanting them to have a longer exclusivity because you don't think you're going to be able to put this is commercial banking. You don't think you're going to be able to put the banking together. And I want you to have a long LOI period. But remember, the longer it is, at some juncture, they may get seller's remorse. They're going to get a nephew that just graduated from law school that's home for Christmas. What are you doing, Auntie? What are you, nuts? Etc. But that's what we want. Okay. Now, tonight's homework, in addition to watching the movie, there's going to be goal setting. Okay, that's it.